There are tons of monsters in the Marvel Universe. From Jack Russell, the werewolf by night, to the might of Frankenstein, to the might of even Dracula, the Blade Runner, the Ghost Rider, even the Marvel Zombies. These are all prime examples of monsters in the Marvel Universe. But there is one monster that exists, one that is terrifying. He's long forgotten his horror roots, but eventually he would go back to the horror roots that he just came from, and he would eventually become the monster that we all know and love. So join me, everyone, as we take our adventures into the most terrifying of stories. This is the tale of the Immortal Hulk. Green Gold Goblin, the Moist Universe, and White Nerdy, and happy Halloween, my fellow little demons. Yes, it is Halloween, and I hope that you guys all had a good one. Unfortunately, October went by too fast, so my time here is almost done. But there is one comic book series that I've always wanted to read, and also check out. The Immortal Hulk. By Joe Bennett and Al Ewing, who really took their time to reinvent their Horrifying Hulk. If you remember the origin of the Hulk, Stan Lee had based him on two characters, Frankenstein and also Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a man who's torn in between two personalities and yet he just can't escape. So what makes the Immortal Hulk so well known? What makes him practically immortal? Well, for that answer, we have to dive into the pages of Immortal Hulk. And, this is what people know. I'm not going through this entire thing issue by issue by issue. This is as big as a Bible. So we're just gonna kind of just blaze through it like I did with the Batgirl Omnibus, because that's what this is. This is the Immortal Hulk Omnibus. Don't ask me how much I paid for it, please. I see you typing. Stop typing. Now, stop it. Stop it. So, why don't we dig into the pages of the Immortal Hulk and see just how this character went from just being a monster of the Marvel Universe into one of the most popular monsters of the Marvel Universe, even if he's still technically forgotten his horror roots. Yeah. So anyways, for this Lazyween Halloween special, why don't we dive into the Immortal Hulk and see why this story is so famous and why it brought back the monster of the Hulk. Our dust cover is beautiful and amazingly so. It's the Immortal Hulk breaking out of chains, drawn by the great and amazing Alex Ross, and dear God, I love what he did with this cover. It looks fan-freaking-tastic, and I love it to pieces. And also, if you're wondering about the undust cover, it's a beautiful wraparound of Hulk and the Green, surrounded by a lot of the enemies that is seen in the Immortal Hulk run. Which, this is pretty awesome artwork, once again, by the creative and imaginative Alex Ross. So it gets a big thumbs up and extra points for that. Within the pages of the Immortal Hulk, Bruce Banner realizes that he can't die. He survives everything, every ordeal, but he just won't die. Every time they think that he's killed, Bruce Banner just keeps coming back to life. They have no rhyme or reason why. Not even Banner has any rhyme or reason, asking several of his fellow mythical friends, but he just cannot find a reason why the Hulk still exists. And so we jump into the pages of the Immortal Hulk. Bruce Banner is trying to live his life the greatest that he can, on the run from the military, away, far away, until by accident he ends up witnessing a murder. But not only that, Bruce Banner ends up getting shot as well, straight in the forehead, where it looks like that he wouldn't survive, which of course the criminals start running out and running away, far away from him. But not before the Hulk shows up, as the Hulk is not very happy that they ended up killing a woman named Sandra. So, in return, the Hulk decides to end up a rampage upon the criminals who just killed the innocent woman that was there with the Hulk. As Hulk ends up doing just that, killing them for what they have done, and basically questioning his own immortality. As around, people end up questioning what's happening, especially for Dr. Bruce Banner, who questions how he's still alive despite, well, constantly dying in this universe. And then he finds out that while monsters are yet attacking, there is something more hidden to him. There are monsters popping out of everywhere, with Dr. Banner not knowing anything about this. But he had to face down these monsters as best as he can, especially for the Hulk. The monster tried explaining to the Hulk that, you're not just a monster, you're tied into something bigger, bigger like the rest of us. But the Hulk just won't listen to reason. He ends up just smashing everything as a Hulk would do. But no matter how much and how greatly of explanation that they can try to give him, the Hulk just won't listen, going on rampage after rampage after rampage, being a hulking brute and destructive monster. And after losing his power to the criminal known as the Absorbing Man, the Hulk finally realizes that, yeah, there's something weird going on here. Something that we cannot picture, as he realizes that his gamma powers might be much more advanced than they realized. So he actually listens to a doctor that he considers his friend. And thus, she kind of tells him that perhaps maybe, just maybe, that there might be more to him than meets the eye, with the Hulk actually ending up in tears wondering, and why? Just why? Why must Hulk hurt so bad? What is wrong with the Hulk? And the real answer is absolutely nothing. But then, when realizing everything that's been going on in his life, he finally stopped to consider that maybe, just maybe, this is all part of something bigger. And of course, for Dr. Banner, it ends up being something much more bigger than he could imagine. Especially after he'd been torn apart 1,000 times, the Hulk just won't die. Nothing will kill this monster. But there's more monsters that keep popping up all over the place, wondering what in the world is going on here. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Banner used to have a very abusive father who used to come home and beat his mother, beat his child, everything. There was no happy life for little Bruce Banner when he was growing up. His father would constantly berate him, beat him, everything in the book, call him names, etc. So it's no question that while Bruce had these bad memories of his father, and in fact he keeps seeing his father show up, haunting him, tormenting him, making him lose control. As Hulk finally gets an answer, and he finally realizes that he's in fact part of something even bigger, a dimension known only as the Green, or the Green Door to be specific. Beings from the other side come here, and it was thanks to the gamma explosion that opened up the door, that bonded the Hulk alongside with Bruce Banner, thus making them into one being. Not helping Banner's psyche by being broken apart thanks to his long abuse of his father, but it is shown in fact that the Hulk is part of something even bigger than he could expect himself. The Hulk is now a part of the mystical side of the Marvel Universe.
I'm sorry. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
I like this explanation for the Hulk. It reminds me a lot of the explanation of Spider-Man, that Spider-Man is not based in science like the Hulk is. They're based in something larger that you wouldn't even think of. You wouldn't even look at and go, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like Swamp Thing that they decided to do, where Swamp Thing you would think is more science based, he's not. Much more of like supernatural and mythology based and mystical, kind of like what the Hulk is based upon now. I really did like this change and thought, yeah, that's a really good change. Because you have to remember when Hulk was first made or created was that Basically, Stan Lee wanted a monster in the Marvel Universe and then got more on top of that. Like I mentioned, Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night, Dracula, Frankenstein. He ended up getting Blade, Ghost Rider, and several others like Morbius the Living Vampire. But all within the same time, I think that over time the Hulk forgot his true origins of what he's exactly supposed to be, becoming much more of a superhero or anti-hero as if it were very similar to, for example, the Punisher or even Venom. So it seems kind of nice that they went back to the true roots of the character and really brought back that monstrous side. And within the pages of the comic, they ended up doing that, making not really Bruce the monster, but more of the Hulk. And if you're thinking that there's only one form of the Hulk, we all know that there's multiple forms. But in this run, they created so many alternate versions of the Hulk. It's absolutely amazing just how many that Joe and Al really put into this work, and it is by far some of the best and most amazing twists that they ever created for this character. So kudos for them for doing such a great and amazing and imaginative idea. Realizing his true advancement, the Hulk looked at his father, asking if he would let his father smash now. As they tell the Hulk no, must be ignoring his father. As even every other Hulk basically figured this out. They figure out that he was part of something bigger, and who else to think this but the Red Hulk, aka Thunderbolt Ross, who suddenly realizes David was part of something. I kept trying to kill this man, but but I didn't realize that his life was so hard, so difficult. But why? Why did I hunt down this man if he was so innocent this entire time? As Hulk remembers back to his past, back when they were born, back when the World Breaker was created, back to the Gamma Bomb, everything. As the Hulk thinks back to everything that he's been a part of, everything that he's done, he may have done a lot of evil, but he's done a lot of good at the same time. As the Hulk finally understands Banner, so he goes over to talk to him. Let me alone. I caught this because I had to get smart. I had to know. I I killed my people, my own brother. I damned myself. Just let me alone, okay? Just let me die here.
You hurt Hulk a lot. But if Hulk left you here, left anyone here, it would hurt Hulk worse.
Hurt Hulk inside.
Hurt who Hulk is. So Hulk forgive you. You are Hulk too, same as Hulk.
And Hulk and Dr. Samuel Stearns actually touch hands, and Hulk forgives him for everything that he's done. And so our comic ends with Bruce realizing that he's part of something bigger, something even bigger than himself, something that he'd always thought of. But now he can relate to the Hulk, and now the two can live together, always being together, and always acknowledging the different sides of Dr. Bruce Banner. And so, my friends, that was Immortal Hulk, and it's really damn good. There is a reason why it's one of the best Hulk runs ever made, and this series definitely does show that. But unfortunately, my friends, I must tell you that my time here has ended. As yes, Lazyween, just like a cold wind coming in, comes in the form of it goes by so quickly. I must tell you all, happy Halloween, and next year there will be plenty more spooks and terrors to come because we are going to have a very good Lazyween from what it looks like next year. And content wise, it is. So, I bid you all a kind farewell, my fellow ghouls and goblins, but don't worry. Even though it seems like forever, I shall return before you know it. So, as such, a lazy wing must come to an end. But I will see you all as of the next year. So please, until then, stay spooky. We will see that colorful ghoul next year. But, judging back, we are going to be taking a look firsthand at the top 10 anime of my favorite anime of 2025. But then afterwards, we're gonna go back and visit an old friend that we haven't seen in quite some time. So next time, we're gonna go soaring with an old couple and old familiar friends. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified every single time a video is uploaded. And happy Halloween to everybody. I hope that you had a good and safe one at home. And did you enjoy this year's Lazyween? Let us know in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I want to keep you on. And until next time, take care. And we'll see you with Superman and Lois Season 3.